Cover your ears, darling.
Wid Yi? Would you have an arm and a leg?
Hey, whoa.
What?
Where's my talk? I'm like foreplay me. You've got to warm me up a wee bit. You can't just turn the mic on and go, Wid Yi? Whoa.
I have a Wid Yi in my arms. I'm good to go. I'm going to skip out foreplay and get to the main event.
But you can't do foreplay.
Yes, I can.
You can't do the main event if the labia is not moist and the cock is not throbbing. You just can't do it. My mate lost his foreskin because of this. He got every so often he gets his cock out and he calls it Robocock or Frankencock or something like that. You know, all the time.
Would you like to name and shame?
No. You'll kill me. Well, no. What you'll do is you'll take his dick out and stick it in your coke. That's the kind of shit he does.
Right. Would you have an arm and a leg amputated for 4... What? How many fucking zeros is this?
What?
4000, comma, 000, comma,
million.
000, comma,
Billion.
000.
Squillion.
Yeah.
So for 4 squillion, what?
Pounds.
Pounds?
Would you have an arm?
Not rupees.
Not rupees.
Because if it was like 4 squillion rupees, that equates to about 400 grand here.
I was watching the finale of the Grand Tour.
Oh,
and they
it's sad.
It is, and we'll maybe come to that later on, but I remember they did these flashbacks to when Top Gear went to Africa.
For the first time.
Yeah, and they were buying bits for their car or something like that. And they pulled out like a Zimbabwean $50 million note, which was the equivalent of like 50p. It's like, I want a can of Coke. That'd be $500 billion.
Oh, that's the economy for you then, is it?
It is, and it's the way we're going as well, but anywho.
Oh yeah, go Brexit.
Go Brexit.
Go Brexit. Go Labour
Brexit.
government. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, would you have an arm and a leg amputated for however much money? $4 squillion pounds?
Do I get my arm and leg replaced with like Terminator's arms and legs?
I mean, with that amount of money, I'm going to say it's a possibility. You're thinking about this. I like it.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I'm thinking about this?
Why?
Think of the possibilities. I would win every arm wrestling contest imaginable with my pneumatic arms.
I mean, if you could get the one that they made for RoboCop, you know, he can crush every bone in your body.
No, that was that was Judge Dredd.
No, that was RoboCop.
You
Genuinely.
Sure?
Yeah, 100%. That is RoboCop.
I thought it was bloody Judge Dredd, you know, the giant war machine robot. They go, we're going to war.
I don't think he's constipated.
He kind of does.
What's the mission?
The mission, we're going to war.
War.
First toilet. I think you'll regret doing that voice later on, but anyway, will you do it? Yay or nay? Arm and leg, £4 squillion pounds, and you can have the RoboCop arm all you want. It's definitely RoboCop.
That's got to be the Terminator arm.
Fine, you can have that.
Alright, I'll do it.
Would you?
So, we just skipped the foreplay and we went straight into sex. How was it for you?
Awkward.
Awkward. To be
Very
honest,
awkward.
I wasn't quite behind it at first. Usually we have this talk first and then we go into the widgets. It was you that sort of pushed me up against the wall and rammed your tongue down my throat in this occasion.
Are you accusing me of being inappropriate?
No, I am not, Mr. Al-Fayed.
Who is only alleged to have been a bad bastard.
But I'm only alleging you.
Touche.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's more awkward than this line of thought you're lining me up down.
This is
down.
Like,
yeah, up, down,
how
up,
does
down.
up, down work?
Well, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Down.
There's only one thing more awkward than this. It's those times in life where maybe your parents are talking about what they used to do, you know, when they were younger.
What, pumping the chemical toilet?
Pumping the chemical toilet. And there's a step that's even worse than that.
What's that then?
God forbid this ever happens to you. Maybe it has.
Bearing in mind I have just eaten a kebab before I came up here, so am I going to be puking in this microphone?
There's every possibility. Have you ever had to sit and listen to your grandparents regaling stories about the good old days?
My gran used to talk about a rusty gate quite often. Does that count?
Was this a euphemism, or did she just have a rusty gate out in the garden that
she just had a rusty gate, that was it. But it's just the noise of the rusty gate. When you opened it up, I went...
I had to sit and listen to my gran regaling stories about what her and my granddad used to get up to in their younger days.
Go on.
Right, this is true. So, you know, I was down in Glasgow again a few weeks ago. I made the mistake of going in past my gran's late at night. You know, when the elderly start letting their guard down, the medication's worn off.
Or wearing on.
Or wearing on.
Or wearing on.
Now, the thing is, My family's quite fucked up. Whenever any of us get together with someone, the first thing we have to warn potential partners is our family is seriously dysfunctional. This is bordering into Jeremy Kyle territory.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, Jerry Springer would be proud. This is the level of shit that our family has going on. So to cut a very long story short, my dear old mum, bless her, may she rest in peace, has been described by my gran in life and in death as the only normal child she had out of 4.
Okay.
Her 2 immediate sisters, elder and younger, one of whom, who shall remain nameless, will turn up at funerals, take pictures of you and ask you to smile for the fucking camera, including at my mum's funeral.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Oh, I never
I'm
knew.
so sad, woe is me, P.S. smile for the fucking camera.
Oh, smile for the camera, Instagram, Insta, oh, sad funeral.
Such a great time reuniting with family. So this is where this conversation starts going awry. So my aunt, who's 50-50, bless her, she's lovely, she listens to the podcast, so this ain't going to be awkward. She was a happy little accident, as Bob Ross would describe her. My gran's sitting at 9 o'clock a couple of Fridays back telling me this in her front room.
Ooh.
Your aunt wasn't planned. And I'm like, all right, okay.
Great.
This is a bit fucked up.
Does she know this?
Oh, well, I'm hoping so. Sorry if you're just discovering this. I hate to be the party pooper, but
I don't know your family that well. I'm just going to walk out the door.
this gets worse.
Right.
My gran tells me, to a level of detail, why one of my aunts was a happy little accident.
Did the balloon burst? Is that what we're talking about here?
Grandad wouldn't go and buy balloons. Grandad was too embarrassed to go and buy balloons.
Too embarrassed to... Okay.
You got to bear in mind, I mean, this is like 60 years ago. You know, you were married, that was it, you pumped the chemical toilet and you dealt with the consequences.
Yeah, but you just did foreplay, that's all it was, wasn't it?
Maybe Grandad was a pioneer for tonight's episode. Is this what's going to happen? In 9 months' time, some happy little accident will emerge and going, Wid Yi? You know the worst thing about this whole fucking story? That is 100% legit.
A baby comes out and goes, Wid Yi?
Where's the kebab?
Was that your first word? Wid Yi, give the kebab. I would love to see that episode of Rugrats. That's all I'm going to say. If you see like Tommy Pickle squeezing through a meaty door and then just, Tommy, Wid Yi?
I'm sure they did actually show pictures of Tommy emerging.
Was it not just a black curtain and then just the light or something like that?
But I mean, still, that's not leaving an awful lot to the imagination, is it?
Unless, of course, they've got Stu Pickles and Dee Dee doing it in like one of the 18-rated special edition DVDs.
What, like Rugrats After Hours?
I'm thinking more Rubrats.
Wid Yi?
Seriously. I was at your mum's funeral. I don't remember all this crazy shit that you're talking about. Are they really that mad?
Yeah, so the aunt who took pictures at mum's funeral...
Jeez.
Smile, I'm going to take a selfie and check in. I'm at such and such church.
Oh, yeah.
At Elaine's funeral. Loving life. She did that at a funeral before. And she did this at the wake as well. My great uncle Jimmy, one of the nicest guys you could ever have met in your life, would do anything for you. When he was done with a computer, he would hand it down. You know, he was one of those.
Oh, yeah.
He was more a granddad to us growing up than our great uncle. We loved going to see him. He died. You know, it was kind of coming. The funeral was sad.
Oh, yeah.
And we were all sitting at this hotel in Aberdeen regaling stories about, oh my God, I went to Jimmy's and I came away with, £1,000 and a computer. And again, this batshit crazy aunt walks up and her words to us, and I swear to God, this is legit, smile for a picture. She's like, smile, I'm going to take a lovely picture of y'all.
Oh, no.
2 of us in unison turned around and basically told her to fuck off.
What would she do if it was like a deathbed situation? You're there with a really elderly relative and there's only a few minutes left and there's a few years around the bed and a couple of you are holding hands and you're just waiting and the little thing going beep, beep,
flatlining,
beep,
yeah.
Smile! That's just batshit.
I've got one better than this, right? And then I will move on. When Mum was not well in hospital, and I have kind of talked about this loosely in the past, she got cancer. We found out way too late. She spent a couple of days in the hospital, and then that was that.
Yeah.
We were trying to make her time in ARI as comfortable as it could be. She was out of it on painkillers. We were like, right, what would Mum want? We're having to kind of second guess everything. And we put on a radio station that Mum used to listen to all the time. We're like, she'll know the music. We think she's in there somewhere. She can hear our voices. She can hear the music. What a lovely send-off. Not a lovely send-off. It's as good a situation as we can make it.
Making the atmosphere a wee bit nicer.
Yeah.
For all... Yeah.
Bearing in mind, Mum was there but not there. And again, batshit crazy aunt walks in and dictates that we're going to put on Classic FM because Mum loved Classic FM.
Did she really love Classic FM?
She fucking hated it. No offence, but it wasn't her thing.
Was she more into like Black Sabbath and all that sort of stuff?
No, she was just into a bit of everything, like 70s, 80s, 90s. So we put on a station that we knew she listened to growing up.
Okay.
And my batshit crazy aunt walks in and went, I don't think she'd approve of this. As David Bowie's playing, one of her favourite artists of all time.
Aye.
That's the level of batshit crazy. And we had to tell my gran off about all this. We had to go and clipe to my gran
and say
at her brother's funeral. We had to ask her to rein in her then 60-year-old daughter and ask her to behave like an adult.
Give her a smack or say, right, that's it, no dessert for you.
We could have given her smack. That would have been an improvement.
Fuck me.
Where do we go from here?
I'll tell you what. You're on about mental families and...
This is it.
Well, I've been on holiday for the last week or so, and what I've been doing is watching a lot of late night TV. Speaking of crazy families, there's a couple of programmes that Jack Osborne is on. Now, if you want to talk about crazy families, this guy's got the craziest family of them all.
Sharon, where's my crack? I can't find my crack, Sharon.
The dogs are shitting everywhere, Sharon! To be honest, I fucking love the Osbournes. Ozzy's a legend. He's probably one of my favourite singers, and the show The Osbournes was just brand. So, yeah, fine. They're batshit crazy, but I fucking love them. That's a simple way of saying it. But he was on. He knows he does all these supernatural programmes and
does he?
Yeah, he does all these ghost hunting shows and all that stuff, but he talks about conspiracy theories and he shows videos of like Bigfoot sightings and all that and tries to confuse Ozzy with them and say, what do you think of this? Does this prove Bigfoot exists? And it's maybe a guy who's clearly in a suit walking in the forest and he goes, what the fuck is that? Or he'll show an alien or something like that, some sort of UFO in the sky, and Ozzy will just put it down and say, it's just bull lightning. Or something like that. Anyway, he came up, right, and he was talking about something called the Mandela effect. Have you heard of this?
I have. I can't remember it, so you're going to have to explain it to me again.
Well, the Mandela effect is, in complete layman's terms, there's a specific detail in life that some people are adamant is true, but it's actually not. And he's talking the Mandela effects like parallel universes crossing or some shit like that, So, for example, right, I'll give you an example of the Mandela effect. The Monopoly guy. Did he have a monocle, yes or no?
You see, I'm instantly predisposed to say yes.
Right. Because he actually didn't.
Yeah. Now, I know another good example of this.
Yeah. What have you got?
The line in Star Wars, Luke,
I was actually away to say exactly the same thing.
But it's not. Is the line not, no, I am your father?
Yeah.
But everyone has improvised it over the years and tried to recite it.
To look, I am your father. But he actually just says, no. So that's a Mandela effect. You see, some people believe that the film's it. Right. Here's one for you. Another one. Is it Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes?
Oh, no. I'm going to say Looney Tunes, Tunes, but it's probably not.
It is.
Is it?
But some folk out there think it's Looney Tunes.
Is that
and you can see the logo says Tunes on it and not Tunes.
Do you think part of that's not like an Americanism, though? Because in America, it is a tune rather than a tune. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
but it was all
barrier.
to do with the music, because the music was quite... Yeah, and so that's how it got its thing with the tune.
Yeah.
Not the tune, But that's the Mandela effect.
I love the Mandela effect.
Yeah. It's a bit fucked up, innit?
Just a little bit. Maybe the Mandela effect means my family isn't as fucked up as I remember. Maybe we're actually normal.
Really?
Maybe Ozzy Osbourne's normal.
Maybe they all think they're normal because they've all been on drugs at one point.
Well, that's why I say these things that Jack's going to Ozzy going, hey, look, it's Bigfoot. Ozzy's probably still on like heroin from 1973.
He's probably on a 30-year high.
Yeah, he'll be seeing Bigfoot everywhere he goes. Oh, I'm going to escape out of your way, Bigfoot.
But it was actually an interesting show, to be honest with you, when he starts talking about this shit. And that just got me thinking about the Mandela effect. But I'm going to go a wee bit on another bit of a tangent off the back of this as well. Mind, a couple of weeks ago I said that I was needing a doctor's appointment, but I couldn't get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got to see the doctor, actually, to be honest with you.
Can I shake your hand? I've never met anyone as important in life as somebody who got to see a fucking doctor.
Well, the doctor says I suffer from premature ejaculation. Personally, I wouldn't use the word suffer, you know what I mean? But see, when you're in the job for about 30 seconds, and afterwards your wife wants to talk to you about integral computer components and trigonometry, you got some more fucking to do. It's kind of the truth, is it? So, I've come up with a bit of relationship sex counselling session to all our listeners.
Okay.
Yeah? To combat this problem, I have invented a new sex position, and you can do this after your yogurt pump is deposited at salty special garlic sauce. You've got nothing in you, she starts talking to you about the biological difference between a prawn and a wasp. All you got to do is drop her one of these bad boys, alright? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Adele. Do you know what the Adele is?
Is it a diva?
No. All you do, right, you stick a finger in her pussy and a finger in her arse, and you feel your fingers nearly touch each other through the fleshy walls inside, and they're technically saying to each other, "Hello from the other side!" You will all thank me later.
You know, it's a good thing I'm not really bothered about listening to Adele, right?
I usually am, but I kind of thought to myself, the Adele. I'll call it the Adele just for that reason.
The thing is, you're one of these happy characters in life. How the hell can you listen to... That rhymes. How the hell can you listen to Adele? Let's make that a feature.
How the hell can you listen to Adele? Oh, no, Sharon. I can listen to Ozzy Osbourne all day. And that's this week's relationship sex counselling by me.
Sponsored by Adele.
I say, is that love in the air I can smell? Nah. It's just the corpses under my floorboards again, isn't it? In that case, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Dennis Nilsen Mandela effect. You know that look you're giving me right now where both your hands are up to your chin and you're ruffling your hair, your hands through your hair.
I'm looking at the monitor in front of me thinking, how the hell can we put that out?
Well, I'm looking at you thinking, I know I've scored good with this. I know I'm right with this in a point.
Fucking hell, the Dennis Nilsen Mandela. Really? Oh, Christ, that's going to be this week's title, isn't it?
That's a good idea for a title. It's
no, I didn't mean an idea. Episode 17, the one where we got cancelled.
Episode 7. I thought you meant episode 17, the Dennis Nilsen Mandela effect.
Nope, definitely didn't mean that.
Of course you didn't.
Right,
no.
let's move swiftly on.
Yeah, do you want to do it, would you? I better do one.
Yeah, I suppose we should.
Yeah. Okay.
You have if you're going to go on about me with my head in my hands, which is, by the way, it's a very regular occurrence.
No, it's not.
You look quite pleasantly surprised.
I'm just looking at it thinking, this is actually quite an intelligent one. Are you ready for this?
Probably not.
For 10 grand, would you eat out an old woman minimum age of 80 for an hour?
No.
Why?
Did you not pay any attention to what I said at the start of the episode?
And what was that again?
Cheese toasties are bad. I mean, I can just imagine, right? The proposition you're putting before me. Mm-hmm. Remember Chewing the Fat?
I love Chewing the Fat.
Yes. If you've never seen Chewing the Fat, if you've no idea what we're on about, get it on iPlayer. You need to watch it.
I don't know if it's on iPlayer, you know.
I think it is.
Still Games on Netflix. I don't know about Chewing the Fat.
Maybe Chewing the Fat's on Netflix. I've definitely seen it on one of the streaming sites. Go and get it watched. Karen Dunbar, who is amazing.
Oh, Betty.
Like she was always chewing from the side of my thigh. Oh, the good old days.
Oh, my knickers were just ankle warmers while I was getting pumped in the guiles, you know. Me and Rosie would get away with all the bloody...
I was dripping in my ankles. It was like the Clyde had burst its banks. The other thing is, this was such a visual gag.
Oh, yeah.
Karen Dunbar was dressed like an old woman. She had the wee old woman floral skirt on, the things that stop her knickers from going on full display.
And she had an underskirt on as well.
That's the thing I'm looking for. And her legs were spread. Like,
you couldn't help but look up at the cheese toastie.
Well, it was a covered cheese toastie. It was still sealed, thankfully.
Yeah, but it's the fact that the reporter's there asking questions about World War II and she's just got her legs spread and she's just going, yeah, well, tell you something, that Rosie could suck a cock like a jube.
I think they might have worded it slightly differently, but she did use the phrase jube.
An old sucky peppermint sweetie from World War II.
It was like a right good mother's original. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Karen Dunbar's coming up to our part of the world
soon.
She's
coming up kind of... Is it in a couple of weeks or something?
Yeah, by the time you listen to this episode, she's probably gone. But if you got the chance, if it's not too late, go and check her. I might have to go and see if I can get tickets. I think she's playing in Stunhaven.
I think it's Newton Hill.
Is it Newton Hill?
I think that's local to me, actually. Rubs chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll bring Betty and Rosie.
I just want to see if she'll get her tattoo. the tattoo that she's got in there that says 83 year I've had that tattoo that says I love Bobby. I still love Bobby. And then the guy comes along and says, who's Bobby? I'm his Bobby.
Wid Yi.
So I'll tell you something. Here's another shameless plug I'm going to say. You want to buy a motorbike?
No.
No? Why not?
I can't ride. I've never actually ridden a motorbike.
Well, I'm trying to sell mine. It's been up in Gumtree for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I've had a couple of wheel kickers and some waste of time bloody wanker from Stirling who didn't turn up, but let's not go into that. But you see, selling a bike privately these days, selling a car or a bike privately these days, it used to be you put an advert up in Scott ads and
Jesus, the Scott ads.
The Scott ads, and folk would phone all the time, and my dad sold cars galore on it and bought cars galore off it. Nobody does that anymore, so I'm having a bit of bother selling my bloody bike.
Were you a Thursday or a Saturday Scott ads?
I was a Saturday one because it was thicker.
Yeah.
But do you want to know why it's probably so difficult?
Internet.
No, I don't answer my phone if it's a number I don't know or if it's a withheld number.
Have you noticed though, people are spawning numbers that are really similar to your own?
Yeah.
Like my first code on my mobile, you know, the bit with the 0 is 07927.
Yeah.
And I keep getting calls that are like maybe 5 or 6 digits away from my actual phone number, and I've had that happen quite a lot. I'd love to know how they can do that.
I get about a dozen robocalls and spam texts, you know, because a meat thermometer I bought 4 years ago made me register to their website for it to work. Then they had a data breach. You know, what a time to be alive, eh?
You're going on about robocalls. I'm going to go back to Robocop. Dead or alive, you're speaking to me.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm now financially ruined, by the way, because my fridge has leaked my personal data, my food blender has sold my bank details, and my garage door opener's stolen my identity.
So does that mean you now identify as a garage door?
That's an open and shut case, isn't it?
Hey! So from flogging Dave's Harley to flogging fake pandas. Who knew this is where we'd venture tonight?
Fake pandas.
Fake pandas. We've become like a Scott ads. Maybe we could try and sell fake pandas. Probably easier than selling your
Are
bike.
you talking actual pandas or are you talking like panda pops from Sangs?
Well, no, I'm on about actual fake pandas. So by that...
How can you actually be fake?
Because you're pawning off a panda that's not an actual panda.
So you're panning off a panda?
Pawning off a panda.
Panning off or pawning off?
Pawning off a panda.
Pick up a panda, pick up a penguin.
There's a zoo in China, right?
Right.
That's had to start issuing refunds to pissed off punters because 2 of their pandas aren't actually pandas.
Why does this remind me of that film Fierce Creatures?
I haven't seen it.
Have you not?
No.
It's like an old John Cleese film where he's got no fucking animals in his zoo, and one thing he tries to lure people in with is a panda, but it's a robot.
That clearly worked out for him. Well, these pandas started barking in front of visitors.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So what the zoo allegedly has done, they've painted a couple of dogs like pandas.
Can we get a photo up for this?
That's fake. That is fucking fake. That is not a panda. I've been to Edinburgh.
Do you want to know? It kind of reminds me of the dog that was in The Little Rascals.
Elaborate.
Do you not remember The Little Rascals?
No.
Never mind then.
So somehow this dog from Little Rascals is maybe one of the pandas in this zoo in China.
To be honest, The Little Rascals was made in like 1995, 1996, thereabouts. I think the dog's long dead by now.
See, this to me looks like a bigger, fluffier, slightly cuddlier version of the Andrex puppy. You're going to have to move, I'm really sorry. That is a dog. That is a dog peering over the walls with its tongue hanging out.
Are you sure? It could be a panda.
No, it's a fucking dog.
What if a dog fucked a panda? I mean, you get Labrapoodles and all that shit. What about a Labrapanda? We're talking the next big money family pet here.
I mean, they couldn't make 2 pandas at Edinburgh Zoo. What makes you think they can make a dog and a panda?
Well, dogs get horny.
Yes.
So throw a male dog in there and put like scent of female dog minge all over the panda, and they'll just leave the dog to it. The panda will be too busy eating bamboo to know what the hell's going on.
Actually, no. I know exactly where this has originated from.
Go on.
And this comes back to Trading Places. At the end of Trading
You're
Places...
You're obsessed with that film.
Yeah, I am, because it's so bloody funny.
Nothing to do with Jamie Lee Curtis getting her hoo-hoos out.
That might sway a little bit.
That's an awesome scene.
It really is. It's cinematography at its best.
Can we just end the show and I'll go home to watch Trading Places and
we have to
Kleenex on the way home?
We have to wrap this up neatly, but...
I would wrap myself up neatly.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis. No, at the end of the film... Remember, they're on a train and they're trying to get back to sort everything out and untangle the mess.
Yeah.
And there's the guy, I forget who he is, but he's that villain that turns up in everything, and he's in the train carriage.
He's a villain in every 80s film.
Eddie Murphy comes in and he's pretending to be some long-lost guy from
Jamaica or something.
Yeah.
No, that was Dan Aykroyd, sorry. Dan Aykroyd was a Jamaican.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy was being like some tribal elder or something, and he's doing something over his shoulders. And they put this guy in a panda suit, remember? They glue the head on him, they tranquilise him, they knock him out.
Was it a panda suit or was it a grizzly bear?
I think it was a panda suit.
I think it was a grizzly bear because I remember the bear going into the cage at the end and the guy is just getting buggered by the bear because he's dressed like a bear.
His eyes dilate to the size of the moon.
Yeah.
We can probably squeeze in one more widget before we finish.
Right. Is this one of Chicken Phillips's ones again?
It is. Can you tell by the fact it's written really terribly? I'm probably going to have to get your help to read this
I'm actually noticing the green crayon and the backward sixes in there that are possibly supposed to be Q's.
The fact the corner's been munched.
Yeah.
All the telltale signs are there.
All the telltale signs that this is a widget from Chicken Phillips because he's actually eating it himself.
Yeah. Right, I think I know the answer to this one.
Right, okay.
But I like this widget. And by the way, we'd like your responses below as well. Would you do this?
We also want your widgets.
Yes.
Give us your widgets. Comment in the box.
We'll get through some of them next week when we're not just going on about my grand sex life back in 1947.
Yeah, and the Mandela effect.
The Nilsen Mandela effect.
The Dennis Nilsen Mandela effect. Yes. And bears shagging dogs, shagging pandas.
Shagging the bad guy from every 80s movie ever made, whose name we really can't remember.
It's not Alan Rickman.
It's not Alan Rickman, sadly.
Yeah.
Right, this is a cheery one to end on.
Go on.
I think I know your answer to this.
Go on.
You know, you get those pictures of McDonald's burgers that have been put like in cases or left in a cupboard for years and years and years.
Yeah, okay.
It's this thing of proving there's so many additives in a McDonald's burger that it's never going to go foosty. It's never going to look bad.
Why is it that this is an issue? Because it just means they're tasty. Who gives a fuck?
Okay, well, with that in mind, would you eat one that's been in a case for years and years and years? Now, the monetary reward, £10,000.
10 grand.
10 grand for a burger, the age of which is undisclosed.
Okay.
Could have been there for 50 years. Could have been there for 50 minutes.
Okay.
Could have been there for a week.
Do you want to know what gets me? I mean, watching somebody do this was cowking, right? But somebody bought, it's on a YouTube video somewhere, right? But somebody bought a Big Mac meal and a double cheeseburger meal, or a McDonald's meal of some sort, and he put it into an airtight container and he buried it 6 feet in his garden. A year later, he unburies it and eats it.
And is he still alive and well?
I don't know. But the video was feckin' bogging because like the chips were blue. Well, there was little blue bits on it. It wasn't completely blue. But there he was dipping it in the ketchup, which is also a year old, and eating a Big Mac. And it was rank. But funny you say this, the McDonald's burgers, they've been, there's that many additives in them, etc. And they don't seem to change in appearance that often. So they're not even that nice burgers. So would I eat a regular McDonald's?
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah, give me 10 grand if I stump up.
Thanks for listening.
Would you do us a favour and check back again next week?
And don't forget to find and like us on the socials.
Wid Yi.